Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Night Owl Collage. I'm Amber, and before we get into today's tutorial, I want to share some happy mail that I received with you. So I participated in a swap, and I got some lovely ephemera from a sweet lady named Michelle. However, she sent me even more goodies just out of the kindness of her heart. She loved making these folios, and she sent me 2 of them. I'll show you the other one as well, and some extra goodies, and I was just thrilled. She was just so sweet to send me these that she spent her time working on and her materials, and I'm just really grateful that she sent it to me because I really love it. And actually my daughter was walking by my desk, and she picked this up and she says, "Hey, I really like this thing that you made." And I said, "I didn't make that. That came in some happy mail." So I love this so much that I asked her if I could do a tutorial on it, and she said she actually got the original idea from another video, which I'll link below. That video isn't a tutorial, it's just a kind of show and tell of the different ones that she made. And what she used hers was to put a journal in and have some pockets like this. Michelle didn't use it for a journal, she just put some goodies in it. And it's basically just made from half of a file folder, glued together and decorated. Now, of course, I want to put my own spin on it, so I made mine a little more complicated because I always do things that way. I'm not good with simple, and I never take the easy road. So mine's a little more complex, and so if you get lost on my tutorial and you just want to go simple, just glue those sides together, decorate it, throw some things in there, and call it a day, because it turns out beautifully either way. I just really love how this turned out. I need to ask her how she does these beautiful bows, because as you know, mine are just look horrendous all the time. So this is adorable. I love this because my word of the year is actually happy. Vellum pocket here, there's some netting down here. This is one of my favorite things ever, because I absolutely love these teeny tiny paper clips, and I still don't have any. They're on my wish list and I still haven't gotten them, but they are adorable and I love them. So some tags here. I also love this awesome paper clip. That is so cool. I have to ask her where she got those. There's little notelets that she made, little notepads, and some tags, handmade tags. And then on the back, how cute is that little bunny? I love it so much. And then this pocket, she put some texture paste on, which is lovely. We all love that texture, right? And then she put a couple more handmade tags in here, and it is just beautiful. I love it. So I will show you the other one that she made me. Let me set this to the side. She also made me a special one that is a spooky one with lots of Tim Holtz goodies in it. So we have this beautiful window. How cool is that? That you can actually tuck stuff in there. And then we have this really cool door on the back that I think is just a really, and there's lots of Tim Holtz goodies in there. So I'll show you what my interpretation of the project is. And I actually used the elements from my kit that is about to come out. And it is a kit that is featuring an artist by the name of Sparkle Kitty. And so we worked together, we collaborated, and came up with this really adorable kit that any little girl would love. So this is my interpretation of the folio project. And aren't these characters adorable, and the colors are so cute. So mine has actually a gusset so that we have more space in here for a journal. It's got these flaps here that that are closed, kept closed with this nice big paper clip here. And these come out. We've got a little tuck spot with a cloud, little tag. And we've got another flap with another tuck spot, another cloud tuck spot. And then we got a slanted pocket and with an envelope and some journal cards. And how adorable are these illustrations? I love them so much. And then we have this pocket here, and we have this large cat paw large tag. Lots of bling. We have some charms here. Put on this side. On the other side is another little slanted pocket with some journal cards, and these are from the title page. And then we have another one of those large tags and a bookmark. A nice pretty bow here. I have used glossy accents on a lot of places where the stars are and the shine in the eyes and around the moon. And then we have a journal inside, a writing journal. Lots of writing space, beautiful papers. And then I've got a slanted pocket on top of a large tag pocket with envelopes and journal cards. And in the back I have another slanted pocket with some small tags. So I'm going to teach you how to make this today. I'm going to make more of these with this kit to put in my shop. This one is claimed. My daughter is in love with it, and so it is hers. But I will make more to put in my shop. Today, though, I'm going to use the newest kit from RachandBellaCrafts to make a design team project with those kits. So we are going to use, actually the base is going to be the new kit called Times and Seasons, and I will put a link to all the kits that I use down in the description box below. But I will show you, let me tell you what you are going to need for this project. First, for the base folio, the base pocket, you're going to need a standard size file folder. You're going to need something to cover your file folder with. You can use digitals like I'm going to use. You can use scrapbook paper. You can use book paper. You can use whatever you would like to use, what appeals to you. Now the kits that I'm going to use, let me show you here. So I'm going to use pages from the Times and Seasons kit. So this is one of those. This is from Times and Seasons. This one is from Times and Seasons. And this is from the Autumn Backgrounds, which goes along with Times and Seasons. I'm also using 2 sheets from the Bohemian Rhapsody Kit. So I'm going to use this sheet and the sheet from Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm going to use one more page from the Medici Kit. So I'm going to use 4 kits for this. That's the thing about the kits from RachandBellaCrafts. They really, so many of them work so well together that you can just interchange them in many projects. I'm also going to use this card as a pocket, and that is from the Times and Seasons kit as well. So that's what I'm going to use to cover my folder. We're also going to need 2 brads. So some optional things that you could use are ribbon for a bow, some charms that you like. We picked out a few out here that might work with what I want to do. And then to put the charms on, you might want some eyelets or bulb pens. Okay, so those are optional. I also may use some glitter on this project. I've got some that will kind of matches my fall theme. So those are some optional ideas, but these are the main things that you will need. You'll also need some basic supplies. You'll need scissors and or a paper cutter. You'll need a ruler. You'll need a bone folder. You might need an awl or just something to poke a hole for the brads. And you'll need some liquid glue and some glue stick. And optionally, you could use a sewing machine, which is what I'm going to use to make things more sturdy. Another optional item is Tyvek. I'm going to use that on my gussets and my folds just to make everything a little sturdier. So let's get started. So my file folder measures about 11 3/4 inches. So we're going to use our paper cutter, or you can use a ruler and a pencil to make a line and cut. We're going to cut this exactly in half, or as close to exactly as you can get. So mine exactly is going to be, I'm going to go up to 5 3/4 and just an eighth beyond that. Or not an eighth, sorry, and just a 1/16 of an inch beyond that. You don't have to be super exact like I am. I'm just kind of a nitpicker on these kinds of things. So I'm just going to slice that right in half. I'm going to set aside my paper cutter for now. So now I have my 2 halves, okay? So my the side with my tab is going to be my base. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to the bottom to make the bottom gusset. You can see on these folders where there's different score lines. It's already folded here, so we're just going to fold right at the next score line, so to give us a 1/4 inch gusset. And then you just use your bone folder to get that good crease. Okay, so now we have a 1/4 inch gusset now. Okay, that's what we want. And I am going to add a piece of Tyvek there. So I'm just going to use this Tyvek to strengthen my my gussets. Let's see, let me cut this to the right size. And I want to make sure that I get, oops, got a little glue there, that I get my glue right in those crease lines, because I really want that Tyvek to stick there. Okay, press that down, and I'm gonna let that dry for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna set that to the side and let that dry. So this other section is going to be sideways, and it's going to wrap around the other section. So we're going to, we already have our fold here. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the other section, and fold at that next score line to give us another 1/4 inch gusset. I'm going to give that a good fold. And then let's see if this, yep, that's long enough. So I'll go ahead and glue this down. Okay, so we are going to let that dry, and then we are going to make some folds, okay? Okay, I think this Tyvek is good to go, so I'm just going to refold where my gussets are. Get that crease again with the Tyvek in there. Okay, so now we have a strengthened gusset there. Okay. Refold my gusset. Okay, so now we have our 2 gussets. I'm gonna put it this way. Okay, so here's our base piece, and then here's our sideways piece. We have a short side and a long side. Keep the long side up when we're doing this. So I'm going to tuck this piece inside the base piece, and I'm going to match up. So now we have this gusset on the side, okay? That's what we want to line up. Actually, it might be easier to do it this way. I'm going to open this up, okay? And I'm going to line up the edge here, the edge of this with the beginning of the gusset here. Make sure it's all the way to the bottom and straight. And then I'm going to take this side, which is the longer side, and I'm going to just fold it over. Okay, so that's going to give us a flap on the front. So I'm going to take that out and crease that with my bone folder. Make sure it is even. Okay. So now our piece looks like this, okay? Here's our gusset and our flap. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put this right along here. Actually, we're gonna take this piece now, and we're going to put our base piece right in between here. Press this right up against the gusset, okay? Press it right up against the gusset, and now where this back piece meets, we're going to fold that over as well. Okay, so we're just gonna make a crease there, and then I'm going to take that off and crease it with my bone folder. Okay, once we have that, we're going to make another score line 1/4 inch in front of that. And that will give us our next gusset, our other side gusset. So I'm just gonna take my scoreboard to make this easier. You can just take your ruler and pencil and make a line and then fold it there. But I'm just gonna take this and do a 1/4 inch in front of that score line. Okay. And then I will crease that as well. Okay, so now we have a piece that looks like this. So this is actually going to wrap around and form a piece like this that will wrap around our base piece. So now it is time to cover with our digitals. So I'm going to cover first this front pocket here. So that will be, this is our larger flap. So we have our larger flap and our smaller flap. So here's our larger flap. This is the front pocket. So that's what I'm going to cover now. And I'm going to use this piece from the Autumn Backgrounds kit. So I want this piece to sit here. Right at this crease is where I want it to stop. But since I'm going to cover everything, I'm going to overlap it a little bit so I don't have edges popping up. So I'm going to, here's the crease, and I'm just going to put it a little over the crease. And I'm going to put it over the gusset as well. And once I'm past the gusset, then I will cut it off. So I'm going to put glue. Here's my 2 creases, that's where I want it. So I'm going to put glue a little past it and a little past the gusset to glue this completely on. And I'm going to use, I think, my purple glue, disappearing glue, just so you can see what I mean, if that wasn't clear. Some scrap sheets for gluing. So I'm going to take my glue and get the middle part first here. And I'm going to, here's my crease. So I'm going to go a little past the crease with my glue. Here's my gusset. I'm going to cover the gusset with glue. And I'm going to go a little past the gusset. I'm going to overlap my papers. I'm just going to add my paper. I apologize for my bandage on my hand. I was crafting and cut my hand pretty badly. So I apologize for that. I know we've all been there. All right, so I'm gonna cut off the excess now, and I'm probably just gonna use my paper cutter just to, for efficiency here. And let's see, it glued to about here. I'll just crease that. And I'm I'm just gonna tear it, I think. There we go. And then on this side, that was glued all the way down. Okay. So now I'm gonna refold my gusset again. So we have our nice creases. So that's gonna be my front pocket. This pocket right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover this larger flap here. Actually, I'm gonna cover the inside of the flap first. And I'm going to use this page here, this collage page. And I'm gonna use this side. Okay, and I'm going to come up to the crease because we've got this overlap here, so that's just before the crease so it doesn't, paper doesn't fold back. That's the inside of the large flap. Now we're going to do the outside of the large flap. And I'm going to use the Medici paper. I want this section right here. So I'm gonna cut right where this blue strip is. That's gonna be my edge, and I'm gonna just glue right over the crease to overlap. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Tyvek on this crease as well. Okay, I'll refold that flap. Look at how beautiful that's going to be. Oh, I just love it. Okay, so we turn this around and bring this flap over. Now we're going to cover the inside of this flap. And I'm going to use this sheet here. I think I'll go with actually this side here. So I'm going to open this up, and again I'm going to glue over the crease to overlap. And of course you don't have to do all of these different papers like I'm doing. I just like the variety and contrast. You can do however you like. Okay, there's the inside. So that's going to be that flap. And then we're going to do the outside of the flap and cover the gusset. So for that, I am going to use this paper here to cover this section. I'm going to go over the gusset again, like I said. Put our Tyvek over the gusset. Okay, so that is going to be our front, and how beautiful is that? So this is going to come around. This is going to wrap around our base here. So we need to cover this, we need to cover this, we need to cover this pocket and this. So I'm going to cover this back pocket now. So I'm going to take that off. And since these are already overlapping, I don't need to worry about overlapping those pieces. So I'm going to use this piece, which is the other half of this one, and I'm going to glue it here. And I think I want to measure this one because I want to measure this one because I don't want to tear it. Okay, so this, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue here on these edges. Okay, so now this is covered. All that we need to cover on this piece is covered. So now we're going to move to this piece, our base piece. So here's our front. This is going to be on here. And I want to cover this front piece with this. And it's not going to go all the way to the bottom. So what I'm going to do to help guide me is I'm going to put my ruler how far I need to go down with my glue, so I don't get glue everywhere. Okay, and then I need to cover this inside here because it's going to be seen. And I'm going to use this sheet for that. And I do want to see, I really like this where it says that, so I'm gonna make sure that that pops out there. And then the last thing we need to cover is the back here. And I'm going to use this piece and I'm going to center it over this piece. So I'm going to use my ruler again. All right, now everything that we need to cover is covered. I put this on the wrong side, guys. Okay, I need to cover this side now. I put it on the wrong side. So I'm gonna print that out. So I'm gonna reprint this. I'm gonna put it on the back side here. And then the next thing that we need to do is to ink around everything before we construct it. So I'm gonna go ahead, reprint it, attach it to the back, and then ink everything, and I'll be right back. All right, I've inked everything. I've also covered the bottom because I didn't want that to stick out as bright yellow. So I've inked everything. Everything's ready to go for construction. And I also rounded these sharp corners that I had. Just a couple of notes: if you are gluing and not sewing, you will, on this front flap, you will have to make an extra 1/4 inch score line right here because you'll be gluing these two together, whereas we're sewing in the crease. And in order for that flap to open, you'll have to have a score line there. So make sure, if you're just gluing, to add that 1/4 inch score line on the front flap, front smaller flap. So let's start here. So the first thing we're going to do is, actually, let me start here on the back. Okay, so this, we have our back pocket and our back here. We're eventually going to be adding brads to this because once we sew this side, we can't sew this side. So we need to attach this with something else, which is going to be brads. So I'm just lining this up making sure it's flush with the bottom and the sides here. And I'm gonna hold this, and I'm going to take, okay, I have a little foam cushion here, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to push through with my awl where I want my brads. It's going to be in these two corners here. That's going to help us later. We're not going to put in the brads now, but we need to have those holes ready for when we do. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball it here. I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to make those holes just a bit bigger so our brads will go through. Make sure you don't push it through to the front side like I just did. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do with myself? Open up that first before you punch your holes through. I will hide that later. Okay, so we're gonna need those holes for our brads. Okay. Because this side is not going to be sewn, but if you still want the look of the stitching, go ahead and sew around these four sides and around the back of your pocket here, your journal holder. And then you also, if you want stitching on these, you want to sew around these as well. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch around these flaps. I'm going to stitch around the back, and I'm going to stitch around the back pocket, and I will be right back. Okay, so I stitched around the flaps, and I stitched around the back pocket, and I stitched around the back panel. Okay, so the sewing, we're going to attach the front pocket to the front here. So we're going to add this front pocket to the front panel. Make sure that it's lined up so that the gussets line up. Okay, so it should be like that. So I'm going to hold this, make sure it's flush with the bottom first. Okay, so I'm going to hold this here. I'm going to open that up. Just open everything up, and then you're going to clip that together or glue it, and then you're going to, you can just glue, or you're going to sew around it if you're sewing. So just to hold it in place, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Okay, so I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew because I want this sewn too. So I'm going to sew from the bottom all the way around the top and down back to the bottom again. Okay, so this will be open and everything else will be sewn. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is we're going to keep the back flap down like this. We're just going to work with this side. We're going to bring this back around, and we are going to now sew these two flaps together so that we form this gusset on the side and this this pocket that we need. So I need you to see this. So here's our gusset. Okay, see here's our gusset. We need the crease of this fold here to be sewn into the first crease of the gusset, not the back crease. This first crease is going to be sewn together. Okay, so once you have that, let's try to get this up here. So once you have those together, we're going to maybe clip that together. And you might have to push this over a little bit so that you can sew it correctly. You're going to sew down that crease right there. Remember, it's not this back crease, because if we sew this back crease, then we lose that gusset. So this crease right here is what we're going to sew into. Now, if you are gluing, you're going to instead glue down this line, okay, and attach that together, and then you will have that score line to fold this out. So I'm going to go ahead, line this up in the crease, and I'm going to sew down that crease, and I'll be right back. All right, friends, we're almost done with the construction. So we still have the back flap here, and we're going to insert that into the bottom to complete our construction. So we're going to curl this. So we have this back pocket and it's open on the bottom. So we're going to curl this and push that up under the pocket. I'm going to push that up under the pocket and pull it through. Okay. So now that we have the back, okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a line of glue right under the pocket, right in here. Just glue the bottom closed. Make sure that's all nice and lined up. Hold that down for a few seconds. And this is where we're going to put our brads in. That's why we needed to make those holes beforehand. So we're going to push our brads through there, and that will attach this to the pocket. Okay, let me find my brads. So you might want to just start their separation there, so it's not so hard to open up when you get it in between here. And this is why I like to have the Tyvek in there, because we don't want this to tear as we are doing this. So push the tines apart. And here's my other one. Push this one through. Takes a little maneuvering to get those tines open. Once you got them open, then I'm going to push them down to make sure they're completely flat under there. Okay, so now that is the construction of our journal holder pocket folio thing. I don't know exactly what to call it. I probably should just go with folio, because that's what Michelle called it, and I think the other crafter called it. I can't remember her name. I did add a lot of decoration to this. So what I'm going to kind of walk you through this. So I put, there goes strawberry again. I put a pocket here. Okay, let me take this off here so we can compare. So for the paper clip, the large paper clip. I added a bow to the top with a bulb, a pin, and a charm, and that is going to keep these flaps closed, okay? It's going to train it to stay flat. On the inside, I put a slanted pocket. Now I may just take some cardstock and cut a triangle to put a slanted pocket there. I'm not sure yet. On these flaps, I put tuck spots. Both of these have little tuck spots for tags, for small tags. So I may do that. I may do something else. I'm not sure yet. And then I put an envelope, a small envelope in that spot. I put a large tag in this pocket. I added an eyelet here for another charm and an eyelet here for another charm. Actually, I think this is the opposite way. So I put a charm here and a charm here, or an eyelet here and an eyelet here for charms. Okay, now on the back, I put a bookmark in here. I may just make a bookmark, I'm not sure. And another tag, another slanted pocket here with some goodies, and a bow up here. And then this is your pocket for your journal. Now I printed one of the pages on cardstock and rounded the corners. And then I did about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, 6 pages. 6 pages folded over and bound with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And then I added a slanted pocket on top of a large tag pocket, and then a slanted pocket on the back. So you can do that however you want. And then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go print off some journal papers from the Times and Seasons kit, and a cover from the vintage Times and Season kit. And then we're gonna make the little journal together, and then I'll go off and I'll decorate this off camera, and then I will just walk you through how I have decorated. Okay, for the sake of time, I just went ahead and made the journal and finished decorating it, so we can keep this video a little bit shorter. So I'm going to show you everything, and this is going to be available in my shop for purchase, and the link will be down below. All right, so to start, I've made the large paper clip with the bow, and it has a T right now. I just put a T on it for Times and Seasons, but if you decide you want to purchase this, then I will change I'll change the charm to whatever letter you would like. So we have our large paper clip, and then I embellished this front flap with this butterfly, and I put some glossy accents on it. And then the first flap has this beautiful flower here and a scripture, John 16:33. Hi, strawberry. And then this is a tuck spot with a couple of little ephemera pieces that are very cute, very sweet. And then the next flap, we have another tuck spot with the books and the cocoa, and we have a little tag flip here. So there's 3 little tags in there. And then I have a pocket here with an envelope, and in the envelope there are 3 journal cards from I think it's the Times and Seasons vintage kit that those are from. Okay, let's see a little tuck spot because this side is open. Okay, so then inside here We have 2 large tags. So this, I love this one. It's so cute. We've got the little fox and the little leaf that that is outlined in glitter. And then we have this one that says autumnal, and this beautiful ribbon up here. Okay. And then we have this flower charm here. And on this side, I have this little tassel. I was going to add things to it, but I just liked keeping that. I think it looked better a little, just a simple tassel there. And then these have the lobster clasps so that you can change out the charm if you want. And then on the back we have this scriptural passage, time for everything, and then we have the leaves outlined in glitter, and inside this pocket are a couple of postcards from the kit. And then we have these beautiful tags with a little bird, and this one with the pumpkins and some beautiful ribbon. And then we have another little leaf here with the glitter. And then we have a little bow up here as well. And then inside we have the journal. So this is a page that is from the Times and Seasons Vintage Kit. And inside we have a large tag, a pocket, and then a smaller journal card that has these ragged edges. And then all the page edges are torn. It really just gives it a nice look. And so that a couple of pages I've paper clipped on some little ephemera. So we've got a pumpkin patch here and a little card. And then we have pages from, I think these are both from the Times and Seasons and the Times and Seasons Vintage Kit. Then here's the middle. We've got another little piece of ephemera there. Got some images, pretty images. And then I added a little card, some crochet ribbon, and some satin ribbon. And then on the back, we have another pocket, and then we have an envelope that is full of little pieces of ephemera that you can use in the journal. So I've got some words here from the kit. I've got some fussy cuts that are already cut out. I've got little labels and cards. So that's full of pieces that you can add to the journal. And then you have some journaling space on the back as well. So this was really fun to make. So this will be available in the shop, and I will also be making more of these. I'll be making more of the ones with the digitals featuring the art of Sparkle Kitty, and I'll probably be making some other ones as well because I just really enjoy these. They're a lot of fun to make, and they're just a really great gift, great Christmas gift, great birthday gift, great whatever gift. It's just packed full of goodies, and the journal is just really customizable. It's just a writing journal that you can add a bunch of ephemera to and whatever you like. I just think it's a really great gift, so I want to make quite a few of these as I have the time, and so they'll become available in my shop as I make them. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today and you had a lot of fun. I hope it wasn't too hard to follow, and if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you again soon for another tutorial. Have a great day, guys.